Hello and welcome into another edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hicks and I'm your lead beat writer for the Arizona State Sun Devils on SI. And I'm so grateful to be joining you once again on this Wednesday afternoon. We are now about an hour and a half, 2 hours removed from Arizona State's player media availability period, closing off on this Wednesday. This has been in the works for some time, and I got to talk to nine distinct Arizona State football players ahead of the opening of spring ball, which will be in about a month. And there's a lot to be excited about as a fan of Arizona State athletics in general. But the brunt of the focus is going to be on Arizona State football, I'm sure. And I got to talk to several returning players as well as several newcomers. The full list of players that I talked to included freshman quarterback Jake Fetty, uh, Kentucky transfer quarterback Cutter Boley, transfer wide receivers Amarion Miller and Reed Harris, returning star defensive lineman CJ Fight, Villanova transfer running back David Avitt, returning running back Jason Brown Jr., and safeties Adrian Boogie Wilson and Lyric Rawls. So I really did make the rounds, talk to players from different positions, different eligibility classes, and everything in between. And there were several things that I got out of it. It was a very productive day conversation wise. Every player was very gracious to give time, and that's something that's become ubiquitous with Arizona State football. The coaches really do a great job at preparing the players to deal with media, deal with tough questions, really act in a true professional manner. And I really, really appreciate that. I haven't had a bad encounter with a single Arizona State player or coach. And shout out to everybody involved in the football program. Now let's get started in today's show. I really wanted to touch upon three big themes that I got out of this availability if I were to pick things that I really truly did get out of it. The first thing really has to do with the coaching staff and the culture. That's something that we hear all the time to the point where it becomes really cliche within Arizona State, specifically the football program. But this is something that players, current and former players, never really switch up on. Uh, David Avitt, I asked him if Sean Aguano was a big, big factor in him deciding to commit to Arizona State. And he really didn't mince any words. He said, absolutely, it was. One of the first things he asked me when we were on our phone conversation was, do you want to play in the NFL? And uh, lo and behold, he's a Sun Devil. You look at Cam Scatterbu, you look at um X Valaday even, you look at Rashad White, you look at Benjamin, the track record is there for Arizona State producing pro running backs. And that's not the only position either. We talked to Adrian Wilson and he said that, and Boogie said that the relationship he has with safeties coach and defensive coordinator Brian Ward is a big, big reason why he decided to stick around. He said at Washington State it was fine and all, but I really feel at home at ASU, and I feel like the coaches are really, really invested in my career and my life. And it seems to be a really resounding theme everywhere because the wide receivers that I talked to said the same. Reed Harris said that Hines Ward was a big, big reason why he decided Arizona State was the place for him. He's really looking forward to being developed by one of the best to ever do it in terms of just the technical spots of playing the position. And uh, Marion really said the same thing. It's pretty much a universal theme within Arizona State that the coaching staff is one that they want to go to bat for every single opportunity they get. And I think that the fact that there's really a unanimous backing behind that shows that it's something that's real and sustainable. Now that leads me into my second point, which is these players really do get along and really do like each other. Earlier in the week, freshman quarterback Cam Dyer went on a local podcast and talked about how the quarterback room sees each other in a friendly manner, that they really do like each other, even though they know they're competing. They know that at the end of the day, it's just a friendly competition. There's going to be days where you bring more intensity, like towards each other, I guess. And at the end of the day, they all know that they're capable to start. They all know that the best man is going to win out. And I don't think that there's any bad blood or any tension really in the air between any of them whatsoever. Cutter Boley had really good things to say about Jake Fetty, Cam Dyer, and Mikey Keene, all three. And I think that that's awesome. I think David Avitt also really said that him and the other running backs have really grown closer together due to really working on perfecting their craft ahead of spring ball. They really work together on a consistent basis and really have each other's back when it comes to learning all the new stuff for newcomers or to learn the ropes of a new system, like all that stuff. I think that that is well in place, and I think that it seems like every position group really does have a connection to one another, and I think that that really carries over into the structure of the team, and that's another undeniable positive. Now, lastly, I mean, this one seems a little trivial and all, but I asked several of the players if they were looking forward to making the trip to London on September 19th against the Kansas Jayhawks. And almost all of them said, yeah, I'm looking forward to that very, very much. I've never been out of the country before. I mean, I believe it was Boogie Wilson who said he hasn't been out of the country. I think it was at least two or three players that did say that they have never been out of the country and they're looking forward to it. I believe eight of the nine players that I believe I asked every player, uh, I think eight of nine said that they were very much looking forward to it. And David Avitt had a really, really good answer too. He was the one that said, essentially said, I'm paraphrasing this. It was, I mean, like it's cool and all, but I want to win the game against Morgan State first before looking ahead to that. I don't want to be going into the Kansas game with a chance to be 0-3. I look at every game as a chance to go 1-0, and I don't like losing, and that's the mindset that I'm going to keep. And that's, I mean, it's cool and all to be excited about things, but at the end of the day, it's all about picking up the win and having that mindset. Putting one foot in front of the other is a great one to have. Um, and yeah, it was a very, very productive day in terms of getting great answers from the players. I'm very much looking forward to spring ball about a month and a half from now, roughly. Uh, Nothing's been ironed out yet. And I will, until then, I'll keep you updated with the best Arizona State football content on the marketplace. Thank you so much for all the support that you pour into this show each and every single day. Couldn't do it without each and every one of you. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the Sun Devils Insider Podcast, and I'll see you with another episode tomorrow.